Welcome to the Wednesday week, the Sheffield Wednesday podcast, and I think the last time I was hosting, I think it was a podcast about the Owls of Sheffield Wednesday, if I remember rightly, which was a term I just made up. We're going to be talking all things Sheffield Wednesday this evening or this afternoon or whatever time you're listening to it, and with me I've got Wednesday week favourite. I've got the Beast Man. Beastie, are you there, sir?
Yes, Beastie of Sheffield Wednesday is here.
Are you going to go by that moniker?
Yeah, it's growing on me, is that, Fudge? It's one of your highlights, is that the Owls of Sheffield Wednesday. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you see, it adds a bit of highbrow to the show, I feel.
Well, no, let's not go overboard. It's not highbrow, is it? It's definitely not highbrow. Nothing about the podcast is highbrow.
No, it's not.
We've even got the lowest brow lord in the country.
He's probably got a metre square land up in Scotland. You know those packages you can buy from W.H. Smith's that make you a lord? That's probably what it is.
Hello there, ladies and gents, Lord Hillsbury, and it does seem that while the Lord's away, the children want to play. So, chaps, what the chaps seem to have forgotten is that all of this does come through Lord Hillsbury Enterprises for editing purposes, and of course, I am here. So, gents, if it's a little bit of ribbon, a little bit of banter that we're after, well, just remember, the chap with the editing is the man with the magic. Roll it on, boys.
We've got apologies from Lord H today. I think Lady H is still laid up, and he's off having a day lording. I don't know what that means.
Duh.
It sounds like a euphemism, but apparently he's off lording. And also we've got Eddie from Wednesday. How's it going, sir?
Yes, Eddie of Sheffield Wednesdayite. Oh, Tuesdayite. I don't know. I'm confused today. I can't get these highbrow concepts in.
Well, I'm going to start with some apologies, chaps, anyway, because I've been absent the last couple of weeks, and I've been away in Barcelona. I went to Espanyol and thought I'd check it out, what's going down there, see if they're doing everything all right, and I went to actually visit the new camp, and as I got there, I thought, it's all right if you like that sort of thing, your massive stadiums, rich in history and success and that sort of stuff. It was like a home from home, chaps, to be honest.
So, yeah. You love swanning around you, don't you?
I do. I'm quite the swanner. Yes.
You're becoming an expert swan. I could see that as a Channel 4 programme.
Yes.
Fudge goes swanning. Kirsty also. Fudge and Kirsty go swanning.
Today, she's in Rotherham. Brilliant. This is the precinct, is it? Used to be some fountains there. Brilliant. So I walked up to somebody in on the stadium tour in the museum, and so I said to this bloke, I said, "Hola, como está, love? Tell me the story on Rodri." Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd get the inside knowledge, the inside scoop. The geezer just pissed himself. That's gone well. Yeah.
At least he'd heard of Rodri. To piss himself, at least he'd heard of it. I would expect him to just go, who?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I did have to Google his full name so he knew what I meant and what the term was for Barcelona B. Turns out it's Barcelona B. So
you're bilingual as well. It's unbelievable, this.
It's all that swanning. I've picked up quite the European. So if I do slip in and out of French and Spanish and that sort of stuff, I do apologise, chaps. But now because I'm quite the European, that does tend to happen. Yeah. So in fact, I'm going to find it difficult applying for things on the internet because you know when it says place of birth, there's not going to be on the drop-down box. It's not going to say Europe, and I'll be like, well, I don't know which one to tick now. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a citizen of the world.
Yeah, I'm just Captain Europe nowadays. That's what I am. But anyway, we were on television once again, chaps. Not a grand affair as what it was against the Dirty Leeds, but Middlesbrough up in the northeast. Apparently now that they're part of Yorkshire. Apparently now, but I've got reservations about that. Beast, what did you reckon?
Well, I, first of all, I know I seem to say this every week, but I didn't see it as bad as everybody else seems to have done. Like on Facebook and Twitter, they've gone into meltdown of Wednesday fans, which seems to be a regular occurrence every time we get beaten. And considering how many times we've been beaten this season, I'm surprised there's any Twitter left. But, fair enough, we were well beaten in end. But the performance, to me, wasn't as bad as people are making out. When they got that early goal, I must admit I feared the worst, but it didn't happen and we settled into the game. And I thought we saw the first half out at least as well as Middlesbrough did, maybe even better. And when we got that equaliser, I actually expected us to go on and win. And that might be naive.
I don't disagree with you actually, Beast. I thought we had the momentum.
Yeah, I think we did, and that's, I know people, I hate using the cliches they use on telly, but goals change games, and when they got their second, it was at a key point, and it just sort of knocked the wind out of our sails a bit, didn't it?
Especially since it was such a scrappy, messy kind of goal as well. You know, I don't think there were too many long periods where we really had Middlesbrough under pressure. You know, let's not talk about it like it was a great backs to the wall performance, etc. I think a lot of the time we were outclassed, but we happened to have that momentum coming after the start of the second half, and after the goal even, we looked like we were the team that were most likely, and it was the way that goal came that I think really knocked the stuffing out of us, because for once I think I agree there was some belief there in the fans, there was some belief there on the pitch, and unfortunately that goal really knocked the wind out of our sails, and to be honest, I think after the second goal went in, we went into our shells to an extent that I think that's why most fans that were watching it came away thinking it was a rubbish performance. I think the last 20 minutes was pretty shambolic, but up until then we certainly held our own, as we have done against virtually every one of these sides this season. And that's the annoying thing, isn't it, really?
It is.
What do you think the problem was? I mean, are we lacking a cutting edge up front? Are we still making these silly mistakes at the back that DJ keeps referencing, that sort of thing? Or have we just got no creativity in midfield? I mean, we're forever banging the drum that we missed Chris Lyons, but what do you think it is?
The first thing that we need to sort out is we've got one Daniel Jones too many. Right? It's not a matter of lacking something. There is definitely one Daniel Jones too many on that pitch. And the sooner we offload him, the better. I'm not blaming him for everything that went wrong, but Lord, oh Lord, would he shown up for the League Two player that he is in that game?
I think that the last 3 or 4 games was maybe he's had a settled run in the team, and he hasn't made any big mistakes. And I think that's maybe lulled everyone into a false sense of security there, because time after time after time on Friday night he was shown up completely.
Well, there was a point in second half where we got a throw-in, and he took it, and he threw the ball to Corrie, and he threw the ball in such a way that Corrie had absolutely no chance of controlling it.
Yeah.
Right? It would unmarked with Corrie. It should have been an easy ball for him, and we attack. And it was just outside the 18-yard box. And he gives him a stupid ball like that, and straight away he loses it, and we're on the back foot again. And obviously, he's up the pitch and out of position. It was so annoying.
I genuinely thought I agree with you that the last 10, that was f***ing rubbish.
But yeah, the last 10 was f***ing rubbish.
That's a good summary, is that? Keep that in.
I agree with you. I believe the last 10, 15 minutes were absolute awful. I don't even know if that can constitute as football. I thought we'd just go for it. I thought we'd just absolute balls out, just smash it, and see if we can absolutely just attack and go for Kevin Keegan style.
Kevin Keegan.
Kevin Keegan. He's his cousin.
Yeah. Britain's Got Talent. Kevin Keegan.
First tribute act ever.
Yeah, so I thought we'd get some Kevin Keegan style attacking football in. It just didn't materialise. Now, Paul Corrie, I don't know how much you've spoke about him in the last few weeks, but what do you reckon? Do we see a big future in this kid? That sort of stuff. We mentioned him earlier.
I think we've talked the last few weeks about this midfield three, and I know BBC Radio's Rob Staten, when he was talking to Semedo the other week, he spent a lot of time talking about how this midfield three is working, and obviously Semedo was full of praise for his two young compadres there, but Friday night I found quite worrying, simply because Barkley and Corrie were pulled out of position so often, and then Semedo had to try and mop up for them, and the entire midfield was then suddenly gone missing. All Borough had to do was play one ball in behind, as they'd drawn Semedo to the ball. They play the ball in behind, there's the midfield gone, and our back four's exposed. So I think as an attacking force, Corrie and Barkley with Semedo holding works pretty well. But when you're against a strong team, especially away from home, we didn't seem to have any of that extra strength in midfield that you'd expect a three-man pack midfield to give you.
It's a good point, is that, Eddie? Especially the Semedo comments, because a lot of people have put down that he had a poor performance, but to me,
a bit of it.
It might not have been up to his very high standards, but the problem that he had was he was trying to cover for the two youngsters, and in the end he started to spread himself a little bit too thin, which obviously makes his performance look a little bit worse.
You look at these top teams that are playing, the sort of 4-2-3-1. You're there with two holding midfielders, and so you do have a bit more license to have a bit more freedom in that central third of the pitch. When we're playing with only Semedo, as soon as he has to cover for someone else that's gone AWOL, then that's it. The entire system's broken. So, a lot of the onus with that is on, I think probably, to be honest, more Corrie than Barkley, because Barkley he seems to be given that extra license to go forward. He is that more potent attacking threat. So maybe Paul Corrie just needs to learn to sit a little bit. And okay, he's got the chance to try and make things happen, but certainly when the other team have got the ball, he doesn't need to get dragged out of position, because then he needs to be covered by Semedo, and then that's it. There's nothing behind Semedo whatsoever.
Learn's the operative word, isn't it? Because what Corrie does wrong, it's pure naivety. And we keep banging on about it as Wednesday fans all the time, the potential in this squad and the potential in these young players. And that's what it is. It's a steep learning curve. To be thrown in at the championship level is a high standard. And for such a young lad, he's doing really well. But he needs to learn. And for all that, the Wednesday fans need to have a little bit of patience with him.
It seems to me, from looking at the reaction online and on Praise and Grumble and Football Heaven and that the Wednesday fans seem to react to everything that goes wrong at this club. Every time we get a bad result, even if it's following two great results, we get a bad result and suddenly the Wednesday fans want to change everything about the club. You've got a massive contingent of idiots, frankly, who are blaming the manager, they're blaming the players, they're blaming the tactics, they're blaming the formations, they're blaming the chairman, the chief executive, the colour of the kits, the length of the grass. Every single thing is either 100% perfect in Sheffield Wednesday world or 100% wrong. And I think it's been conclusively proved because we literally haven't had any consistency this season that any of these things either A, have a real effect on the situation, or B, can be changed by the fans moaning about it. There's precisely one thing that the fans can do to affect the situation at Hillsborough, and that's to turn up and chant and sing and go absolutely mental in support of the team. Because the one thing that has been conclusively proved is that players like Jose Semedo absolutely react positively to being told that they are brilliant, that they are world beaters, that you will never ever get past them. So what I suggest is, instead of wasting your energy going on bloody Owls talk and saying the one thing that's wrong is that Dave Jones has picked the wrong strikers and it's not time that we changed everything. Gary Mixon wouldn't have had enough time to do this. Using all that energy to talk to a load of idiots who probably agree with you. You should actually get down to Hillsborough, swell the crowds a little bit, and get behind the team. And I'm not a happy fan. I'm not saying everything's always rosy, but I'm saying that you as a fan, apart from sitting down with Dave Jones and persuading him that your and footballing knowledge far outstrips his, I would suggest the best thing to do is get in your seat and cheer on the lads with every last breath that you've got, because they'll react to that. And you know what? Out of this situation that we're in. But if you're not prepared to do that, then please don't go on the internet and mess it up, because enough rubbish on there as it is.
So a rousing rally call there from Sausage Arms himself. I tell you what, that was. I tell you what, that was right up there with Delia Smith at Norwich. That was Ed.
Where are you?
So anyway,
before we get off the point of the fans, I don't know what it came over like on the television, but at Middlesbrough, I thought the Wednesday fans were absolutely fantastic. They might have been outnumbered 28,000 to 1,000, but we were absolutely belted.
I'll tell you what, Beast, is this where you start on your ticket pricing then?
No, I just want to give... Well, I mean, Eddie's had a go at the fans there, and rightly so, but I just want to say that when the Wednesday fans are in fine voice, especially at away games, they're in a better place to be. And the Riverside Park the other day, it was absolutely fantastic. And when we scored that second goal, the boost that the Wednesday fans got, it was wonderful. And to be able to shut them Borough fans up, even if it were only for a few minutes, were absolutely fantastic. And it did shut them up.
That's because we are just #massive. We are a great supported club. We really are. And it's only when you start travelling around and you go to other clubs that you realise that as a young teenager, for example, we're actually quite spoilt as a club. And now in some ways that's great that we take this great away following to all these clubs that are miles away. But when it comes to, let's say, for example, when we got to the playoff final back in 2005, to try and get tickets for that, it was really hard work. And you're thinking, well, all right, it's nice that we've got a big support, but I want a ticket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got to say, I would sooner have that than have the sort of fan base that we saw. I mean, this isn't Wednesday fans going on about attendances. This isn't Wednesday fans trying to pretend we're better than anybody else. But I would much sooner have the situation that we have, where, you know, when we have that run, that bit of success, the fans really flock to the club and really get involved with it. I'd rather have that than a situation like at Borough, where they're averaging sort of 16,000, 17,000 home fans at their matches, and they had to put prices down to 12 quid to get even 28,000 there. So, you know, that's even though they're a one-horse town with one thing to recommend it, which is a football club that's keeping the entire town together more or less, they could still only just about get close to filling their ground. So, no, I would much rather have the situation where, you know, we get 23,000 when the likes of Stockport are coming to visit. That'll do me. And, you know, and okay, it might be a bit difficult to get tickets for Brentford away when it's the most important game of the last 15 years, but give me that any day.
So, all right then. Before we move on to the big talking point of the Borough game, Beastie, go on, mention the ticket pricing. You've got to, because I must admit I'm right behind this.
Well, like Eddie said there, they charge the Borough fans 12 quid, right, which is fine. But the rest of us Wednesday fans, have paid 27 quid. 27 quid for a Friday night to travel up there to where it's even grimmer up north, right? When the game's on the chuffing telly and the chat, you know, it's absolutely scandalous, isn't it? I mean, we cut prices all through the season. We have kids for a quid. But I'm sure that the away fans get the same benefit from that.
I think there's some almost like threatening court action. Newcastle fans, a couple of years ago, we played them on Boxing Day, and we had some offer on, you know, £10 and £5 tickets or something, and they absolutely insisted that they get a refund of the £24 that they'd been charged or something like that.
Jesus. Well, I tell you what, living in the south, I don't know if you lads have mentioned this, but I do live in the south.
No, nobody's noticed.
Have you not? Have
no.
You not? It's my posh accent, isn't it? That's what gives me away.
Yeah, it's twinkle.
And I go to a lot more away games. Now, I know at Hillsborough they do the some games are subsidised, and if you turn up for so many, you get this off and that sort of stuff. But the away games are always around 25 to 27 quid. Even at pits like Sellers Park. I think I remember paying about 26 quid for Dagenham and bloody Redbridge. Do you know what I mean? That's the sort of price you're looking at. And then there's two of you, you take the missus or something. It turns into like 100, 150 quid day out once you know what I mean? It's not a cheap affair. And when you've got an opportunity there, like you say, it's Friday night, we're on the telly, it's freezing, we're miles away. Why didn't they put bums on seats? Do you know what I mean?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd have preferred a pie on seat. Right, we'd already paid us 27 quid. They were never going to give us that money back, so they should have done something else. Give us a free pie or something. Pie and a pint on way in.
And the award for most young thing said ever on any podcast goes to...
Don't give me any money back, but make sure I'm well fed. That's it.
You should have given us a free pie. That you've got me there. You've really put me off. So, right, yeah. Middlesbrough, big talking point. We've been building up to it. We've been alluding to it. Gary Medine, got the sheet.
All right, sorry, we're going back to the Borough game, yeah.
Yes, let's go back to the Borough game. Let's wrap this up with a patented Wednesday week segue.
Go on then.
So Gary Medine, goal machine. It's been touted in the media that he may be on loan to Swindon to go and get his backside kicked by PDC, and we've been linked with a couple of the strikers, and it's been made no secret of, by the way, in the media that Dave Jones is looking to see which of our strikers is the weakest link, and which one to offload in order to bring in names like Connor Wickham or Cameron Jerome. So, was there a big statement by the goal machine on Friday night, or do you reckon it was a bit of a fluke that he started?
I don't think he made a big statement. I don't think he did his cause any harm, though. I thought he played pretty well overall. Probably one of the better players for us, if I'm honest. But he still shows a lack of nous or maturity in front of goal, because he stopped playing at one point, didn't he, when he thought he was offside. And anybody else, a proper striker, would play to the whistle. Alan Shearer never gave two chuffs, did he, about being offside until he were told that's disallowed. That's what strikers do. They should play until they're told otherwise. And to me, I mean, he could have had another goal there. He's not done his cause any harm, but he hasn't said, you can't do without me.
I think what Gary Medine has done by his performance on Friday has probably put himself back at the top of the list of strikers that we have that we've got, but it doesn't mean that any of them are good enough. I think they've all proved that there's deficiencies in their game that are preventing them from scoring regularly at this level. So, Medine has probably put himself up ahead of O'Grady, up ahead of Rodri, and certainly up ahead of Maguire, as a point man, if we're going to carry on with the formation that we've got at the moment. But I don't think anyone is under any illusions that level, be it as it is that he's got a goal, it's not good enough. We need something that is that extra level of quality, that extra level of sharpness. You look at the names that we've been linked with, they'd be the sort of, I suppose, realistic targets that I would expect Dave Jones to have on his list. So, Gary Medine will have done himself no harm, but I don't think he'll have done enough to change Dave Jones' short-term plan, which is get something better in.
Wouldn't you like to see Rodri get more of a run out in this side, though? Because to me, he's the sort of striker that we should be using. A bit quick, feed the ball through past the back line, and he's going to be on it like a rat up a drain pipe, isn't he?
But I'd love it if we had the chance to give him half a dozen games and it didn't really matter whether he scored or not. But we're not. It's not as if we're chipping in goals from every part of the side, and
no.
the striking is just it will be the icing on the cake. Well, it ain't. It's the be all and end all. We're not scoring enough goals, and we haven't got time to give a Rodri a 6-game run in the side to see whether or not that light switch is going to go on, and he's going to hack it. I mean, I've said as much when I've written me weekly weekly column that I send out to the Wednesday night members. I think we need someone who has proven Premiership quality. And I'm not talking about, a top goal scorer from the top end of the Premiership, but I'm talking about someone who's played at Premiership level, and certainly can excel and dominate at this level at the Championship.
Please don't
money on wages to get that sort of striker in, but I think it's imperative, because otherwise we're going to get ourselves to the side of Christmas still worrying about relegation, as opposed to having the position of building a young team that can compete next season and the season after.
But please, Eddie, don't tell me that Cameron Jerome is the answer to that, because to me, I don't see that Cameron Jerome coming to this club offers anything that our other strikers don't offer.
No, I would see him as a Tesco value Jay Bothroyd in that respect. I don't think he gives us anywhere near as much as Bothroyd. I don't think he's as good a player as Bothroyd. So if the idea was we're bringing Jay Bothroyd in because he's proven he can score goals at this level and he has that experience and that leadership in the team that can benefit the younger players, why do we need a Cameron Jerome? But certainly looking at the sort of Connor Wickham angle, I think that's a player who we should be looking at, and his ilk are absolutely exactly what we're looking for, which is very, very hungry, but at the same time, proven in terms of games under their belt at Premier League level striker. And, I don't know whether there's too many of those about, but I think it's important that if we're going to spend some money, we spend that money up top and really making a statement of intent.
Okay, so Connor Wickham plays for, is it the under-21s very soon? Puts himself in a shop window. Does anybody else think this could be paper talk, and why should he come to Sheffield Wednesday, a team not doing great in the Championship, and there could be a mid-table team there somewhere, or somebody like Middlesbrough themselves? It's down the road, it's near to where he lives, that sort of thing. Why would he come to Sheffield Wednesday?
There's all sorts of different reasons, isn't there? The managers might have a good connection between each other. They might see us as a side that's going to play to his strengths. It might be us that is. They're going to have to stipulate that he gets a game every time he's fit. Middlesbrough might not be able to accommodate that, but as we can.
Yeah. So, okay then, which of our strikers then, they've been saying it in the papers, one needs to go before one comes in. Who do you reckon, and I'm going to say head over heart, who do you reckon is in trouble? Not in trouble, because I think it's only going to be a short-term move. But who do you reckon might get shipped out in order for, let's say, for argument's sake, that Connor Wickham comes in? Who's in trouble?
I think we're going to ask the question why that's the case. Is it the case that Dave Jones doesn't want to have a bloated squad and there's a certain head count that's necessary, or is it simply because of wages? In which case it becomes a very simple issue, which is who's on the most money, and therefore who releases more wages by getting shipped out on loan.
Yeah. But okay, let's set that. All right, let's say then, for devil's advocate, pick one.
All right.
Just pick one.
Well, Rodri ain't going anywhere. We're not going to send him back.
No.
Maguire's injured, right? And when he's fit, by all accounts, he's going to Portsmouth. So that leaves you two, doesn't it? You've got Cog or Medine.
This is it.
Right. Well, for my money, Medine's the one that's got to go out on loan. He needs to improve his sharpness. He needs to get a bit more savvy in front of goal, whereas Cog offers us a bit more hold-up play, if you like. There you go. Send Medine out. Give him a month under Paolo Di Canio. Let him learn his skills. Bring him back.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, when I first saw this story emerge with him going to Swindon Town, I was thinking, what? This is Gary Medine goal machine. What? How? But then I remember thinking, that goal on Friday was his first one in the Championship. His first ever goal in the Championship. Now, Cog, what's he got? 4? Is it 4 he's got this year?
Yeah.
Already. See, it's a simple numbers game. And Paolo Di Canio is the type of manager that should get something out of somebody like Gary Medine. And I think Gary Medine, bear in mind, we all know he's mad as a fish in petrol. He's not Stephen Bywater standard, but we know he's right up there. I think Paolo Di Canio might turn him into a man without making that sound like a euphemism, if that makes sense. but yeah, Daft, it sounds well. Paolo's put our shirt on, and he knows what it means to play for Sheffield Wednesday. And there might be a few chats. I'm quite on board as long as it's Swindon he goes to. I'd be quite happy with that. There's a good ethic around that club at the minute in terms of working hard, and I think that's what Gary Medine needs to do. But anyway, we're still on a downward slump. The banging of the drum for Jones out, has this gathered any pace, or are the fans starting to realise we're not playing that badly? It's not turning into a comedy of errors, and are we desperately clinging on to the fact that we might come good, or is it, are we thinking now, come on, Jonesy, you know what I mean, it's been far too many games now where we've got beat. Are we going to sew this up at the back? Are we still going to make these silly mistakes? What do you reckon?
Well, this is another one of them things that every time me and Eddie are on, we seem to be banging the same drum every time. But I don't know if you two read Facebook and Twitter all the time about this stuff, or we're on any of the Wednesday groups on Facebook. But some of them are really on a massive downer about Dave Jones now. As far as they're concerned, he's gone as far as he can. His play is too negative. Some of the formations and the ideas they have about the way we play, well, they're beyond ridiculous. I don't want to keep banging the same drum, but I have to keep defending Dave Jones because this isn't a short-term fix. It's a long-term project that he's got going here. You only have to look at the young players he's bringing in with a little bit of experience alongside them, and you can see we've just got to stick to this plan and hang on as long as we can. It's not going to be easy. Sorry, Eddie. It's not going to be easy, and we're gonna lose some more games along the way. But let's just try and hold on.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, Beast. I know we've banged on about it probably too much already this season. Every time there's a defeat, mainly, but you have to respond to it because that's the sort of brainless rubbish that some of the fans are coming out with. Now, I want to go on a slightly different tack, which is number one. I'm surprised and pleasantly so that Milan Mandaric has not only not sacked Dave Jones yet, but also hasn't felt he's needed to come out and make any statements to the media, make any statements to the press to say, Dave Jones' job is safe, Dave Jones is my man, etc., etc. That to me leads me to believe that Mandaric isn't panicking on this and that he understands the value of the project that has been kicked off here. But I suppose from a more pragmatic point of view, you've got to look out there and see what is the alternative. Who else is out there who can take Sheffield Wednesday in a radically different and better direction with the resources and the players that we've got available? And there's a very, very short list there. So I don't see that it's a realistic possibility, from both I suppose an ideological level, but also from a pragmatic level. I think that the only way would be down if we decided to make a change at this point.
Well, the thing about Milan Mandaric is it should give Wednesday fans a lot of confidence in Dave Jones, not make them think we need to get shut of him, because we all know what Milan Mandaric's like. If he thought for 1 minute that Dave Jones had totally lost the plot, then we all know that what would happen. Yeah. We all know that he would be straight down the road. So there's obviously something going on between Mandaric and Dave Jones, where they are both singing from the same hymn sheet. They've both got the long-term vision. And Wednesday fans need to get on board with that, because as soon as Milan Mandaric feels the same as they do, then rest assured he will do what's necessary.
Completely agree. I genuinely completely agree. I think, like I said in the intro to that bit, I think the fans are seeing a definite upturn in the way we're playing football. It's not like we're playing terribly. All right, with the exemption of, let's say, the last 20 minutes against Middlesbrough and a few spells here and a few spells there. It's lapses we're losing to lapses in concentration, and we're losing to silly mistakes. And when that happens, the strikers' heads get down, and it's a knock-on effect. That's what happens. But we talk about the strikers, and we're being linked with a lot of strikers. But I'm very much from the school of thought that you've got to stop the goals going in at one end before you can start sticking them in at the other. And as much as it pains me to say, Miguel there is making a few howlers. And And we've not really sewn it up at the back. We're still making a few apps. I mean, all right, we mentioned Danny Jones. We're still making some big errors, some big mistakes, and these are costing us points.
Well, I disagree with you there, Fudge. They both have a knock-on effect on each other. If the strikers start sticking the goals in, right, it gives confidence to the defenders because they've got something to hold on to. Then they have more to protect, if you like. And if the longer they can keep it at 0-0, then the more confidence it gives the strikers. They need to work off each other, and we need to. Unfortunately, the biggest mistakes that we are making are at the back, as you say, and there seem to be individual errors, don't there?
Yeah. So, in summary, strikers score more goals, defenders stop jeffing it up. It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
Are you one of our listeners that missed the Wednesday week while we're away? Is a week too long for you to get your Wednesday week fix? Well, don't worry, because the Wednesday week shop brings to you the Wednesday week computer game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can control Beastie as he runs all the way around Yorkshire telling people how things were in the good old days.
What a young lad.
Control Sausage Arms Eddie. Oh my word, run away from that evil dog trying to eat your arms. Control Mr. Fudge as he swans around Europe, being all French. Bonjour, love. Or Lord H as he tries to get his servants into check. That's right, ladies and gents. Every day could be the Wednesday weekday in your house. Buy the Wednesday week computer game today. The Wednesday week computer game isn't a real product, and anybody that thinks so is an absolute numpty.
So right then, upcoming big game, City Ground. Is it at the City Ground? I don't know.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. I thought it was, yeah. Going up to the City Ground. Difficult place to go to. Sean O'Driscoll as Nottingham Forest, well, he's renowned across any job he's had of getting the ball, playing patient build-up football, passing it around, that sort of stuff. Will that suit us, or do we tend to like the smash and grab type of football, or how do you think we'll fare?
I don't care what sort of football goes on. If we come away with 3 points, that's all that matters to me.
All right, well that's in there.
I think that we find ourselves, we play against an awful lot more in terms of footballing sides in the Championship than we ever did in League One. And so, I think it's a style of football that we've become accustomed to playing against. Now, let's be honest, we haven't exactly come out, guns blazing and been fantastic at doing so. But I don't think that's necessarily because of the type of football being played. At this level, it's about meeting teams when, they're not in a good run of form, and when they're not all firing on all cylinders, you can exploit that. Otherwise, it's a very, very even division. So, as always, you go into every match at this level thinking, you know what, we give a good account of ourselves, we'll come away with something here. Forest, they're stuttering, they're winning and losing and drawing, so I suppose there's no real signals as to what might happen here. Certainly, they're a team that have been, there or thereabouts, in recent years, and at the same time, they've also had a terrible season. So, I don't know. Again, I'm going into this one cautiously optimistic if we play as well as we can. But like every game at this level, if we don't give a good account of ourselves, we are going to lose this game. And that goes for any away game in this division.
Okay, the Nottingham Forest game has also got a secondary tag, Jose Semedo Day.
Much more important for Saturday. That's what I'm looking forward to. Much more than the match itself. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. For all I've slagged off Wednesday fans on the internet and what they've been going on about, seeing some of the pictures of what people have bought and what people have got made, etc. for Saturday, it is going to be a festival atmosphere, and I think it's going to kind of match those Honolulu away days and all this sort of stuff that we've had in the past. It's really going to go down in history, and I think it's going to be a brilliant day for all concerned.
Yeah, it's really caught on with fans, hasn't it? You look all over the internet now, and everybody is wanting to be part of it, and people who haven't been able to get hold of a Forest ticket now are really, really clamouring to get one as much to be part of this whole Semedo Day as much as going to watch the football. They just want to be part of it. And to see what we sold, about 4,000, to see 4,000 Semedo heads is going to be absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
So, in summary of today's episode then, let's go back. The goal machine needs to go to Swindon. The last 10 minutes against Borough was gash. Yeah, we'll have Connor Wickham, but not Cameron and Jerome. Rodri, sort your life out. Dave Jones, he's still in by our book. Tricky Trees, as long as we get a result, apparently we'll take a draw, and it doesn't matter what type of football we play. We're all on board with Samido Day. Let's do more things like that. Any other business? Mr. Beastie, I believe you're involved in something.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to give up a big word for something that Eddie's involved with at Wednesday night, the Smile tickets. Now, through Owls Alive, we run a season ticket swap scheme where people who've got a season ticket that they aren't using for the weekend can go to the club, go to the ticket office, and they can change that week for a paper ticket, and they can hand it to us, where we'll go to the Sheffield Children's Hospital, the packed part, which is a very small part of Sheffield Children's Hospital, which deals with children with tumours and leukemia, and their families who are in desperate need of a break. We will give them the tickets that the season ticket holders can't use. Right, it gives them a day out, a break. The Owls Alive members pay for a shirt for the kids and scarves and stuff like that, and we make it a day for them to remember. But this last weekend, I think it was the weekend before actually, the Peterborough game, we couldn't get enough tickets for the family that came. So I got in touch with Helen at Wednesday night, who runs the Smile part of the ticket of Wednesday night, which gives out tickets to needy causes, and she sorted them out, no problems at all. Straight away, 5 tickets, all the family, 3 generations of Wednesday fans there were, came along, they enjoyed the day, watched the game, they saw us win, which, what's the chances of that, picking one game this season? They came along, they had a great day, we bought them shirts, scarves, they loved it, absolutely loved it. So I wanted to just give a really massive thanks to Wednesday night and to Helen especially, and to remind people that Smile tickets are available for all sorts of reasons. To get over to the Wednesday night website and check that out. Get along to the Owls Alive website. I know it's my site, and I make no apologies for plugging this part of it. Click on the Pact tab, P-A-C-T. Click on there and see how you can get involved. If you're a season ticket holder and you're not getting to a game, you can help us out.
Also, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic initiative, and to be honest, I'm involved in Smile in the sense that I help publicise it, and I'm aware of what's going on. I get to meet some of the guys that come along and take the tickets, and it's brilliant to see because it really is the full gamut. Of course, we have kids who are who are sick or suffering from whatever, and we try and put a smile back on their faces. But there's also, carers that need a bit of a break, or there's Wednesday fans who, through no fault of their own, can't make it to the matches. They've fallen on hard times, or they've been made redundant, or they can't get there. And it's great to give them that chance to feel what we all feel and get down to Wednesday and become part of it again and cheer on the team. So if that matches your description, if you feel like you'd love to get that opportunity and it's something that you just, for whatever reason, can't do at the moment, then please do come onto the Wednesday night website and put your name forward, or put the name forward of someone that friend or family. But also get onto Owls Alive. And, I'm a season ticket holder. I don't always make it to matches, and I'm certainly going to make use of this because it's great to see Hillsborough full, and every little bit that we can do is helping the team, like I said before, to roar on the team and try and get them enthused and inspired to go on and get 3 points.
So, also, lads, are we not taking part in something that's very, very apt for this time of year? Is that not happening?
Yeah, there's a few people involved in the... Hang on.
Is that one of them?
Is that Clinton for me again?
Yeah, apparently you're doing a podcast, so he's ringing me.
All right. Yeah, over on Twitter and Facebook, it's Movember, isn't it? Where blokes all around the country are growing a tash. Is it for prostate cancer?
It is.
Especially, but it's more an awareness of men's health as well, isn't it? Because, being blokes, we tend not to want to go down to the doctor and say, can you have a look at this?
I just get down there even when there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
Hey, doctor, cop a lot of these.
Yeah, whereas I'll go anywhere and say, will you have a look at this?
Brighton Beach.
Yeah, exactly, Brighton Beach. But I wanted to give a big up to Cy Farrow on Twitter, who I know is a keen follower of the podcast. And he's got a little picture up there of his own growth for Movember. And I have to tell you that it is the best picture, the best evidence you'll find of slug juggling since the early episodes of Blackadder. It is a fine, fine porn tash that he's got going on there. You can hear the in the background as soon as you see it.
Well, I tell you what, guys. Look, if you want to get yourself a mention on the show, by all means, send us some ideas, some gags, some points, some opinions. We'll get you on the show. Obviously, my moustache for Movember is looking like a French waiter's tash.
Excellent. Very smooth.
Purely because I'm quite the European, which I'm hoping might turn into a big hashtag this week.
If you want a good chuckle, though, if you head over onto Twitter, just have a look at Seth Bennett. I don't know whether you remember Seth Bennett. He was Rob Staten before Rob Staten. He's doing Movember. I think he does it every year. He's done it for a few years now. But his current Twitter display picture is possibly the funniest thing you'll ever see in terms of combination of hairstyle and Mo at the same time. He's at SethB45, I believe. So get over there and have a laugh.
I've got one better than that for you. If you go over onto Facebook, onto the Championship Owls, and check out Mick Nixon's fantastic tash. He's shaved it. It goes from ears to nose, and it's a W for Wednesday.
Oh, beauty.
It's absolutely fantastic. And he's got this face on him, but it looks like he's been asked for a stoat. Right? It's just... it's absolutely stunning. So kudos to Mick for that. I hope he's getting plenty of sponsorship money in for that, because anybody that's taking part in it, you deserve all the money that you get and all the kudos and respect from everybody.
All right, chaps. Well, let's wrap it up there. Beastie, if they want to get hold of you, you're on Twitter, yes?
Yes, I'm on Twitter at Beastie_ or on the website owlsalive.com.
And Eddie, where can we get hold of you, sir?
Yeah, you'll find me on Twitter, as always, at Sausage Arms, or if you're at the Nottingham Forest match this Saturday, keep an eye out for me. I'm wearing a Jose Semedo mask, so come and say hello.
And if you need to get on a Beastie at the Forest game, he's going to be the one at the counter going, "What? No free pie? Come on this way, you're not giving us a free pie."
Meanwhile, if you see Fudge over there, he'll be the one outside swanning about looking like a Frenchman.
Yeah, if you need me, I'm at Fudge and Dave on Twitter, and I'll be swanning around Europe. So if you're there, if you're in any European city, I'll probably be there looking like a French maitre d', being rude to people. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks a lot from the boys, and we'll see you next time.
Ta-da, everybody.
Goodbye.